it actually came out at school where people used to see, okay, don't mess with Raygon. He's a psycho. He's crazy, and I didn't want people to see me that way. I mean, even now, if my brother and them and my cousins talk about those years, the stories that the things that we did, and they start talking about the fighting, and then I look at them and was like, was that really me?
Welcome to Radio Veritas TV. You did something wrong.
Say it again.
Radio Veritas TV.
Radio Veritas TV. Okay.
Hi, I'm Emma.
Hi, I'm Reese.
And we are Catholic and we go to St. Teresa's School.
Hello, my name is Nonzuzo Nkosi. I am a Catholic. I wasn't originally born a Catholic, but then I joined Catholic because I love the religion, and more especially as I went through it and then learned of their teachings, I began to love it even more. And also because of the way that I feel when I'm in church, there's this sense of belonging that I feel, this warmth, and I feel and I believe that it's the love from God.
My name is Charlotte Swartz and I'm not a Catholic, I'm Christian, but I follow and respect the Catholic values. I go to a Catholic school and I really respect the Catholic values and the way that they follow life.
Hello everyone, my name is Zenani Mashinini. I was born Methodist. I converted into Catholicism mainly because I went to a Catholic school, Macaulay House, and I began to enjoy Catholicism and how we would go to Mass and how we'd praise God.
We are Catholics!
You are watching Karibu Nyumbani.
And that's Karibu Nyumbani on Radio Veritas TV with myself, Khanya Litabe. Of course, we bring you this episode, inspiring stories of faith of those who've walked their journey through the faith.
With me, I would sit in the pews and just follow Mass, do what we're supposed to do. And then Father Jerry came to me and said, I need your help with something. I need you to tell your story to people that come from another church or that are not in tune with their faith and make them Catholic.
And what story did you tell?
I actually, with all my classes, I would tell them the journey. What I was born in the Ebenezer church. I was born, baptized, confirmed in that church. But I moved over. I wanted to see a different side of my faith. So with the Ebenezer Church, we were very intense when it comes to our Sunday services, the messages that were brought across. But when I moved over to being a Catholic, it was like, this is interesting because we go in depth. For an easier example, we have first reading, we have a responsorial psalm, we have a second reading, we have a gospel. With other churches, they have one scripture reading and they elaborate on that. They'll talk about that. But with us, there's a reading from the Old Testament, there's a reading from the Psalms, New Testament, and then the gospel. The gospel is where the meat and bones of your faith are. So that's what resonates with me every Sunday at Mass. If our parish priest can explain something to me that I have read before, and he explains it in a different way, then it just, when I leave Mass, I feel, that not like when a weight is lifted from your shoulders. It feels different. It feels like spiritually your soul is outside of your body now, and it's walking in front of you. You are just following your spirit now. And that's what I want Mass to be for everyone. I want other people to take Mass the way I take it. We all go to Mass and we expect to get something. What are we going to Mass for? That's the thing. Do you go to Mass for people to see you? Do you go to Mass to be spiritually enlightened? So I take away the spiritual enlightenment part. Unless I drive behind a taxi and it cuts me off, then my peace goes out of the window for that short period of time, and then I have my better half giving me this look, just calm down, and then I calm down. So yeah,
And it just says that we are human.
Yes.
And we have this spiritual side.
Yes.
What is your dream for your children now? As you say, you have them raised in the Catholic Church and so on. Of course, they will live their own life
Yes.
and so on. But what is your dream for your children?
So when a child gets confirmed, then they are recognized as an adult in the church. So for me, it's when my boys get confirmed, they're going to make their own decisions now when it comes to their faith. So, but for me as a parent, the most that I can do is I pray for my boys. I pray for my kids. I make sure that whenever they go to school, they are protected. When they come home from school, they are protected. When they are in our presence, they are protected because they need to feel that God is in our house. They need to feel that. So when they go on to live their own lives, I want them to portray that down to their children. So we are Catholic. We were born Catholic. We are going through the stages of being a devout Catholic. So if we take, that's why I actually love catechism. I have never thought about it that way. So we have it in different grades, from grade 1 up until grade
8, 9.
I think it's 10, 11, then it's confirmation.
Yes.
So your schooling career goes hand in hand with your spiritual career. So if those two work together, I mean, I like the little ones, grade 1s and 2s. They don't have to learn anything. All they have to do is sing. They can just sing hymns and just have fun learning about their faith, learning the simple prayers, the easy prayers. As they get older, they learn the bigger ones, like how to say the rosary. But we need to instill that into our children. I mean, if we take, I don't wanna mention something that's gonna offend a few people, but in most churches, we only see the elderly doing stuff in the church. So that being taking up collection or being Eucharistic ministers. What is happening to our youth? I mean, every year we have confirmation. The bishop comes and confirms young 17, 18-year-olds. What happens to them? Where do they go? What do they do? So with us, I mean, I think there's 3 people from the time I converted to being a Catholic that are constantly doing things in the church. I can see them because we walk that journey together. And I notice like not everybody does that. People just want to sit back. You do stuff not for yourself. You do it in honor of God. We do everything in honor of God.
So you feel this is your homework then?
Yes.
As somebody who can then lead them in the faith to do that.
What I try is with the parents that bring their babies for baptism. So babies are still small. They still have a long journey to go through. But the parents, that's where it's going to start. So I always tell them, you are your child's first catechism teacher. Because you are going to teach your child how to bless themselves, how to say grace before a meal, how to say grace after a meal, how to pray before you go sleep. Things like that. I mean, we don't always do those things, but we need to start somewhere. We need to start with our kids. And that's why me and my wife, we teach. She does First Holy Communion. So she teaches, I teach. I am the first sacrament they receive. The next one is confession. Then it's my wife's class. So we walk that journey with the parents. So I want the parents, especially to the listeners of the station, the viewers, we are our children's first catechism teachers. So when you baptize your child, that's where you set the benchmark now. Now you have to teach, now you have to build on that, to teach them, this is what we pray, this is these are our statues. This is Mother Mary. This is Saint Joseph. They need to learn these things. If they go into Mass, they look at the tabernacle. They don't know why the red light is there. We need to explain these things to them. So I think for me, because I've been a Catholic for 10 years, but I'm still learning. There's a lot of things that I want to accomplish in the church. And it brings me back to what the late Father Peter Wilson once said to us. He said, your faith is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You run slow, you pace yourself. That's how we learn. So if you sprint through, I'm gonna start being a Catholic and I'm gonna run my race and then I'm done. No, we learn every day. If you learn your faith in that way, that's how you grow. And that's how I feel my journey is. I grow with God.
Quotable inspirations from Raygon the Brain today. Your faith is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So make sure you take your time and you pace yourself. And that's Karibu Nyumbani on Radio Veritas TV with myself, Khanya Litabe. Of course, we bring you this episode, inspiring stories of faith of those who've walked their journey through the faith.
So I am Catholic because I have grown up in a Catholic school, and I really respect and appreciate the Catholic values and the ethos of Catholicism, and therefore I believe that Catholicism is a great religion to be part of.
I'm Catholic because I was born Catholic and I got baptized, and I also grew up in a Catholic school. I think Catholicism is also like a very great religion to follow because I think there's only one way to life, and that's following God.
You are watching Karibu Nyumbani.
And so welcome back to Karibu Nyumbani, and that's exactly what it means. Karibu, welcome, and Nyumbani, home in Swahili, where we speak to people, inspiring stories that we hear from them about their journey home. And this is your home. This is where you are, Radio Veritas TV. And today I've been speaking to Raygon the Brain, and we're talking about his journey. And so far we've shared so much about your journey as a young person, and then you got married, you were introduced to the Catholic Church, you're now into RCIA. You've spoken about how you and your wife are also into teaching.
Yes.
People, RCIA and other things, confirmation class and so on. So really bringing people to the faith. You spoke about your children, your dreams for your children as well. Yes. Why do you feel it's important for parents to pray for their children and for the children to actually learn to pray?
So with our kids, we as parents, we are there for their well-being. So this would be their physical well-being. But who looks after their spiritual well-being? Our kids won't randomly pray by themselves. They won't pray for themselves. They just think, okay, mommy and daddy works, they get money, we live life. No, there's things that happen in the background that our kids need to know. And especially with younger kids, I'm talking between toddler and teenager. In that age group, they need to know whatever a child's prayer goes to God quicker. That's what we always teach them. If you pray for something, you will get it. If you want us to get something, you pray for it. We do our due diligence and pray for something. But our kids' prayers, and I think it's in the book of Matthew, where your child, where God says, Jesus says, let the children come to me. He doesn't push them away. He wants them there. He wants to hear what they have to say. So our kids need to know how to pray. Even if it's the Our Father, the easiest prayer, the prayer that they do at school as well. If they know the Our Father, teach them something easy like the Glory Be, Hail Marys. They need to know how to say these prayers. The Apostles' Creed, we get to that as we get older. We learn it in stages with catechism, but as we get older, I mean, if I have to take one thing that we do with baptism, you have to make that promise. So where the priest asks you, do you believe in God? Then everybody needs to respond. Do you reject Satan? We need to take that as a humble plea. We need to do it for ourselves. But to come back to your question about the kids, yes, we as parents, we need to pray for our kids, and our kids need to learn how to pray. So prayer is easy. It's a conversation with God. It's basically a conversation you have with God. You can talk to yourself. It's a conversation with God. So pray, people that say they can't pray, I don't believe that. I want you to sit, even if you don't close your eyes, if you just look up to the heavens and speak to God, your prayer will be listened to, will be answered. God does things in His time, not our time. We can't rush the process.
What makes your journey to the Catholic Church a memorable one, the highlight of your life?
Wow, I think there's a lot. Over the 10 years that I have been Catholic, there has been a lot of things that has happened to me. I've met some good priests, and I have had deep, intense conversations with them. So they know where I'm coming from, what I'm doing. I don't think I've told them anything about my plans for the future, which I am still praying about, still trying to get some clarity on that. But yeah, teaching RCIA in the beginning, that was a nice journey. It was a nice start to the journey. Now it's baptism. So now I teach. Now I want the babies to understand why that uncle is standing there and talking to my parents. They need to see, okay, I remember you from when I was a baby. I don't think they will, but as time goes on, they need to know that God put me in their parents' life to help them with something, to make them get their first sacrament, baptism. The first one, I would say it's the most important one, but the other sacraments are important, don't get me wrong on that. But baptism is your first one. So that's what I teach. I teach baptism. I want the parents to know what they are getting themselves into. You are entering an agreement. You are the guardian. You are the custodian of that child's future now. So you are signing off your child to say, I am going to make my child grow up in the Catholic faith. So you're making a promise, and 7, 8 years from now, I want to see those same people. I want to see that child that we had baptized. I want to see them in grade 1, first grade catechism. That's the thing that we want. The one thing that actually upset me the most was when they took away Bible studies in school.
During my life, things were not perfect. So there was a time where I had so bad in life. Everything was just falling apart. So for some time, I didn't want to go and consult. But at some stage, I could see that, no, this is not going my way. Then I gave in. Then I went to consult. And then during that time, after she had told me what must I do, she said to me, she said, do you know a Mary or a Maria? I said, no. But my uncle was married to a Maria. And then this lady said to me, I see a very beautiful woman. A very beautiful woman with a smile in her face. And then her head is like slightly bending down. And then she is Maria or Mary.
We want to thank the likes of Bishop Duncan, where he is listening to this program. May you be inspired, Your Lordship, in your ministry. Because You make sure that someone has got that father figure in their spiritual life.
The one thing that actually upset me the most was when they took away Bible studies in school. I mean, we have our St. Dominic's, we have St. Catherine's, we have our Catholic schools. But what about the other schools? We forget about those. I remember when I grew up, we had a period, like you have English, Afrikaans, we had Bible studies. And you would go there, you would sing hymns, you would learn about the Bible. But it disappeared. Now we need to get it back. We need to let our younger generation know that being in love with God is cooler than being a fashion trending person on TikTok. No. If your love for God is your number one priority, then you have my utmost respect. You can look cool, you can wear the swaggiest clothes. No, doesn't mean anything to me. I want to know what your relationship is with God. So, yeah, I'm in love with God. Then comes my wife. She knows it. She knows that. She's always the one that always also tells me, like, I love you with all my heart, but I love God first. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I will, as long as you love the person that we both love together, then I am happy with that. So for the younger generation, yes, it's cool to be a Catholic. You can learn so much. You can do so much. You can make a difference in other people's lives. But I don't know. TikTok is the thing now. People go for TikTok. I don't know. I'm also on TikTok. I don't know. I downloaded it last week. Don't ask why. But I'm seeing things, and I don't see things that resonate with our Christianity. Yes, that's another social media platform for something different. But we have the means to get in touch with God. If you don't have a physical Bible, you can download one. If you don't know how to sing a certain song in church, you can check it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can learn how to sing that song. So we have the resources, we just need to use it. And with our kids, the millennials, what do they call them? The Gen Z. They need to learn that. You have the resources. Back in the day, there was just Bibles. We could just use the Bible to get information. Now there's YouTube, there's this radio station. There is a lot of resources that we can use just to, not to activate our faith, but to strengthen it.
And that's Raygon the Brain on Karibu Nyumbani, our journey home. Welcome home here on Radio Veritas TV. And so I hope you're inspired to also share your faith. You can always get in touch with us if you'd like to share your story as well. Just send us an email, info@radioveritas.co.za. That's info@radioveritas.co.za. And we will get in touch with you, and we would love to hear your story of inspiration. So thank you very much, Raygon, for coming through to Radio Veritas TV. As we said to you, one of a few guests of the new channel of Radio Veritas TV. So we welcome you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you for joining us once again on the channel. God bless.
We are Catholics!
Would you like to advertise on this channel? Contact us on the number below.